A young man named Daniel had always been fascinated by how small decisions could grow into enormous outcomes over time. Fresh out of college, he had very little money, but his mind was full of ideas, ambition, and a drive to see what he could accomplish. Each evening, he would sit at his small desk, writing in a notebook, sketching strategies, and imagining how one small action today could ripple into something extraordinary in the years ahead. To outsiders, his efforts seemed trivial, but Daniel understood that persistence, careful planning, and knowledge could make even modest beginnings bloom into significant success. Daniel knew that the first step was education. He dove into books, articles, and tutorials on investing, entrepreneurship, and strategic decision-making. Every lesson was absorbed, every insight stored for future use. He also sought guidance from mentors who had walked paths similar to the one he imagined for himself. Conversations with experienced people provided context and practical knowledge that textbooks could not. Gradually, he built a foundation of understanding, a framework that would guide every future choice. He realized that knowledge was a form of capital just as valuable as money itself. Armed with information and a clear mindset, Daniel made his first small investment. Though it was modest, he treated it as a seed for future growth. He studied its performance daily, noting trends, learning from fluctuations, and understanding how markets reacted to external events. When his investment gained value, he celebrated not only the monetary result but the insights gained about timing, patience, and analysis. When setbacks occurred, he examined them thoroughly, learning lessons that would inform every subsequent decision. This careful observation cultivated a skill set beyond simple financial acumen: patience, discipline, and resilience. Over the next several months, Daniel expanded his efforts. He diversified his investments, exploring complementary opportunities to spread risk while maximizing potential returns. Each new venture taught him something different about the importance of research, the value of calculated risk, and the necessity of adaptability. Slowly, the incremental gains compounded, and he began to see tangible results from the accumulation of small, deliberate actions. Confidence grew alongside his portfolio, reinforcing the principle that consistency often produces far better results than impulsive moves. Alongside his financial growth, Daniel worked on developing skills essential for long-term success. He practiced negotiation, refined his analytical thinking, improved his communication, and honed problem-solving strategies. Every challenge became a learning experience, shaping him into someone capable of navigating complex situations with clarity and foresight. He realized that wealth alone was not enough. Skill, knowledge, and strategic thinking were equally vital. Each accomplishment reinforced the importance of being well-rounded and prepared for the opportunities that larger investments would demand. Daniel also discovered the value of mentoring others. By teaching, he deepened his understanding of the concepts and strategies he had learned. Mentorship also opened doors to collaboration and fresh insights he would not have found alone. Helping others succeed revealed patterns and solutions that strengthened his own approach. Mentoring required him to articulate his methods clearly, recognize blind spots, and refine his strategies. Leadership and guidance became integral parts of his routine, complementing the knowledge and discipline he had cultivated from study and personal experience. As Daniel's experience grew, so did his confidence in reinvesting both money and knowledge. Each reinvestment was calculated and deliberate, building momentum over time. Patience became an ally, and consistent action produced compounding results across multiple fronts. What began as a modest investment evolved into a steadily growing portfolio of opportunities. Every success was deliberate, every challenge became a lesson, reinforcing the structure and discipline that made future gains more achievable. He realized that steady, intentional growth far outpaces rapid, impulsive effort. Networking proved to be another essential component of his growth. By connecting with like-minded individuals, Daniel accessed knowledge, resources, and opportunities beyond what he could have achieved alone. Relationships provided insight, mentorship, and sometimes unexpected opportunities that accelerated his progress. Collaboration became a multiplier for his efforts, allowing him to leverage the expertise and experience of others. Over time, These connections formed a network of mutual support, creating pathways to ventures that might otherwise have remained inaccessible. Challenges and setbacks were inevitable, but Daniel learned to view them as integral to the process. Every obstacle tested his patience, resilience, and critical thinking skills. Instead of being discouraged by failure, he analyzed and extracted valuable lessons from every misstep. Resilience became one of his most critical assets, ensuring that minor setbacks never derailed long-term objectives. He developed a mindset that allowed him to recover quickly, adapt, and improve, which ultimately became more valuable than short-term success itself. Years of disciplined effort and strategic planning began to show results. Compounding knowledge, skill, and capital produced a trajectory that seemed exponential. His initial modest investment had transformed into a diversified portfolio generating substantial returns. Beyond financial gain, Daniel had cultivated wisdom, strategic insight, and a network of relationships that reinforced his ability to continue growing. Wealth without discipline or knowledge is fragile, he realized, and he had carefully invested in both. The combination of money, skill, and insight created a resilient foundation for long-term success. Daniel explored new opportunities with each phase of growth. Applying lessons from previous experiences, he identified patterns and untapped markets others overlooked. Each new venture tested his ability to analyze, adapt, and make calculated decisions. Over time, experience became a multiplier, enabling him to approach opportunities with confidence and precision. Knowledge and insight proved to be as powerful as financial capital, guiding every choice he made toward growth and security. Mentorship and leadership continued to expand as Daniel progressed. Guiding others required reflection, patience, and clarity. Collaborating with mentees revealed new perspectives and ideas, enhancing his own understanding. Mentoring became a two-way street, as teaching reinforced principles and exposed him to challenges and insights that he might not have considered otherwise. Leadership, experience, and mentorship reinforced one another, compounding the effects of his efforts. The young man's story highlights the extraordinary potential of small, deliberate actions repeated consistently over time. Each decision, risk, and lesson built upon the last, creating outcomes far greater than the sum of individual efforts. Focusing on long-term objectives instead of short-term gratification enabled Daniel to transform modest beginnings into remarkable outcomes. Patience, consistency, and strategic thinking became guiding principles that shaped his journey and ultimately defined his success. Financial growth was accompanied by a sense of responsibility. Daniel recognized that influence and wealth carry obligations. Ethical decision-making, integrity, and accountability became inseparable from his strategy, ensuring trust and sustainability in all his ventures. Wealth without ethics is unstable, he understood, and maintaining credibility, reputation, and relationships was as vital as financial results. Every choice reflected a balance of ambition and principled action. Daniel continually embraced opportunities to learn. Each experience, whether a success or minor setback, taught him about human behavior, strategic thinking, and market dynamics. Curiosity and adaptability were central to his growth. By treating each challenge as a learning opportunity, he ensured his skills, knowledge, and insights were constantly evolving. Every step reinforced the compounding nature of deliberate, informed effort. He also cultivated resilience alongside growth. Life inevitably presented unexpected obstacles, but preparation, discipline, and strategic thinking allowed him to navigate challenges successfully. Balancing ambition with caution and action with reflection became key principles. Resilience, insight, and foresight provided a stable foundation for both personal and financial growth. Every decision reinforced this framework, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of development and opportunity. Daniel's journey illustrates the power of persistence, strategic thinking, and disciplined action. Starting with a modest investment, he built a foundation capable of sustaining growth over the long term. Knowledge, skill, and experience compounded alongside financial resources, producing results far beyond what anyone could have imagined at the start. Each stage of the journey reinforced the importance of planning, thoughtful execution, and continuous learning. Ultimately, his story proves that small beginnings are opportunities, not limitations. Thoughtful actions, repeated consistently over time, produce extraordinary results. Education, mentorship, strategic reinvestment, and disciplined decision-making allowed Daniel to transform a single choice into a lifetime of achievement, influence, and personal growth. His journey serves as a blueprint for anyone seeking lasting and meaningful success. Each chapter of his story reinforces the principle that success is cumulative. Every choice, lesson, and action adds to a trajectory that grows steadily over time. Patience, observation, learning, and consistent effort compound, producing outcomes far beyond what luck alone could achieve. His story demonstrates that deliberate, informed action creates results that multiply over the years, proving the immense value of strategy, discipline, and persistence. Through careful planning, calculated risks, and consistent effort, Daniel achieved financial stability and personal mastery. Wealth became multidimensional, encompassing skills, knowledge, relationships, and influence. Every decision reinforced the trajectory of growth, creating a self-sustaining cycle of opportunity and achievement. Resilience, foresight, and strategic thinking became as valuable as financial capital, producing exponential results over time. Reflection was essential to his ongoing success. By reviewing past successes and setbacks, he refined his strategies and optimized his approach. Thoughtful evaluation combined with deliberate execution ensured that each decision contributed to long-term objectives. Knowledge, skill, and discipline compounded, forming a framework for sustainable, extraordinary success. In the end, Daniel's journey proves that consistent effort, strategic thinking, and patience produce remarkable results. Modest opportunities, when approached with intention and wisdom, can transform into lasting success. Knowledge, skill, and perseverance outweigh luck, and deliberate, informed action builds a future beyond what most would imagine. His story shows that one person, starting with little, can achieve extraordinary outcomes through focus, patience, and persistent effort.